The following podcast is a production focused on storytelling, exploring new TTRPG systems and their supplements. This podcast is not sponsored by any of the systems or their owners and is meant to be a fun, interactive book club. Respective credits for songs, sound effects, and resources are listed within the description or details. And with that, please enjoy, adventurer. So then here is what we will be doing is we are going into trade. The book talks about trade having a lot of aspects as far as like figuring out like how does a city maintain trade routes and everything like that. It doesn't directly state it in a table, but that's why these tables are purely meant to may help you figure out what you're going to be predominantly trading in. So we're going to be getting into the strength of the city's trade routes. So we're going to be rolling a 1d4 on a trade relations table to see how well this metropolis trades with other respective cities or towns.
That'd be a 4.
So the 4, interesting, very little trade outside of the marketplaces of the city.
It might be because the
Oh,
metropolis is too big to focus on trading, and that's what all the other towns would be for, maybe.
maybe. There's a thriving underground something or other.
Because it feels like
Uh,
this is the town where you go and live.
Oh, could
okay,
be. Maybe it's a bastion against some sort of danger.
just following through, making sure I've got the right. Yep. Okay, so now we're going to get into the little bit more fun aspects of trade. We're going to be rolling a d6 to determine how many types of things this town trades in.
All right, D6 roll. 1.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So, I mean, it makes sense,
Okay.
very little trade, but now we roll a d10 to determine what they trade in.
2.
Precious metals,
Mm. Scales from the Drake's count.
scales from the drakes. Hmm.
That could be the only thing that they have. That they kind of smith together into material or something. And they have so much of it, maybe.
I kind of like the idea of repurposing like scales that keep falling off of the drakes as they get older or something like that, and they just decide to use that as a way of minor trade outside of the city.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
So,
those are probably valuable and sturdy
so let's
and
say
in
Drake scale.
abundance.
Okay. So the thing is that there is a table for precious metals, but you know what? I like the idea of doing Drake scales, so I think we'll stick with
Mhm.
that for their various precious metals.
And
Uh,
just as an idea, maybe if they have as a form of an easy job that you could pick up if you're looking for side work is scale cleanup.
Scale cleanup.
Like throughout
Mhm.
throughout the town, that might not be the world's most tantalizing job, but this might be a place where you'd be like, hey, we need some more scale cleanup, and it's an easy coin that you can get pretty quickly as drakes are
Imagining a man
everywhere.
with a push broom, just essentially just this
Well,
constant like clittering of scales on the ground.
and with reptiles and like lizards and things like that, sometimes they need to soak in order to help them shed their scales. I can imagine some sort of like hot spring where it's like, yeah, it needs a
Oh,
soak. And they just toss the dragons in there or the drakes and they just kind of sink and probably have to fish them out of the water.
I can imagine a lot of jobs surrounding the drakes in this city, from
yeah.
scale cleanup to maintenance of the drakes to
If you,
the
I
meat
like the idea.
factories.
Yeah, I like the idea that the drakes are a major part of this city
Mhm.
for defense, but also just it seems like something that everyone is just a part of. So for the time being, then we've got Squareton. So we're determining trade here for Squareton for Dragonborn humans. So go me and give me a D6. No, sorry, a trade relations. That's right, trade relations to see how well does this small town trade with other towns.
A 1.
Excellent trade, non-existent international trade. So excellent trade within towns, but nothing internationally, which makes sense for a small town.
Okay, here we go.
Hmm,
Okay, so what do they trade in?
D6.
D6, yes, for the amount of resources they trade in.
3.
3. Okay, so trades in, and go ahead and give me 3d10s.
All right, so we have a 10.
10 magical items.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Got two ones, so should I re-roll one of those two?
I would say yes. One of those ones is gonna be livestock.
Okay. And then 7.
Ornaments.
Ah,
Armaments.
Armament.
Armor.
Armor.
Go ahead and then roll for me on a d20 for the type of livestock they trade in.
14.
Shellfish. So this helps in establishing that Squareton is
Okay.
on the coastal city.
On the coast.
oh,
Okay, so coastal. Let me see if there's a table. I don't think there's a table for magical items, but I just want to double check. No, there is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So give me a D8 roll. Very curious on this.
ooh,
4.
Oh, okay. Potions.
cool.
Well, that makes
Potions.
sense. Like emulsifying shells and scales and whatnot.
Yeah. And then armaments. D8.
5.
Axes and impact weapons.
Spears? No,
Interesting.
that's hammers.
Yeah, hammers, maces. I really do appreciate that the shellfish has provided us some context for Squareton now, so that's a coastal town, so we can actually work with that a bit more.
Nice.
So now moving into, let's go to Squareville, a small town. Trade relations.
D4?
D4, yes.
2.
They have several established and protected trade routes with neighboring cities and nations.
They located.
Several,
I'm kind of digging that all of the other cities within this country is it's not designed all in within the metropolis, but it's
Yeah,
other towns.
that's distributed.
yeah, I really appreciate that they're actually giving you some more context for how these cities and nations might actually interact with one another a little bit more with these tables. It definitely creates a situation though where you have to kind of think through it, of course, to determine, all right, so where is this going to be located or how well does this work? So what do they trade in?
D6?
D6 determine the amount. Yes.
3.
3. It's a good round number.
And then D10?
D10.
Eat.
1,
Okay, so livestock,
9,
scrolls and books,
Mm,
7.
armaments. I'm getting the hang of that word now. Okay, so give me a d20 roll for livestock.
10.
Fish, another coastal town.
mm,
Bash.
Just fish.
Harsh.
Let's see. I
An
think there's
ESH. Fesh.
fish. Scrolls and books. So that's
That's
going
so
to be a d12.
8.
Spell scrolls up to second level.
Ooh.
okay. Right. Small town got it going on.
And then armaments. That's an 8.
7.
Alchemical explosions.
Like
Fireballs.
Explosives.
alchemy supplies, like it's got like
Yeah.
flint and like things to like
Yeah.
cause an explosion.
Alchemical explosives.
Welcome
Oh,
to Bertha's bombs.
Bertha's bombs. I'm gonna put a Bertha's bomb in here. Just to,
Wants to shoot fish in a barrel. Blow 'em
yeah.
up.
Oh, that's got to be a tavern. Fish in a barrel. That's got to
Oh,
be a
that's great.
tavern.
Perfect. Yes.
There's actually also a generator for tavern names as well in here. So, but gotta put fish in a barrel.
And that's
Okay.
the town with the Alkin.
Yeah, it is. Tieflings, Alkin,
Oh,
humans, half orcs. Okay.
I'd like to think like the I don't know, the Alkin heads up like the scrolls in the books for some reason. I don't know why. It seems a little bit
I think
tropey,
so
but
too. I think
it's
it's true.
it I feel like that maybe they had picked this specific town of this country to move into with the small group of Alkin who brought along their knowledge with them.
They're the key. They work the night shift. Don't give me that look. That's appropriate.
I didn't give you any look. I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
So, that being said, we'll go on into the small city of Circleton that has the gnomes, dragonborn, potentially a garrison, with halflings. So, their trade health is That's a
Or
D4. 4. Very little trade. Makes sense. Little
little trade.
trade outside.
Oh,
Thank
oh
you.
man! They're
That
like,
hurt.
hey.
Hurt in
I'm
the.
just
So you just hear one of the Dragonborn. That's funny.
All right, so give me a D6 for the amount of things that these people very literally trade in. Literally, little. My
lit
God,
their meager trade 4.
4, 4.
Really?
I
Okay,
guess
very
so.
little trade, but
Four
okay.
things?
All right, so let's see what they don't really trade that much in, but
Okay, these were D10s.
D10, yeah,
Okay, we rolled 8. So I've got 8,
that's building materials,
ooh,
Oh, they get
2,
to.
precious metals,
10.
magical items,
Rolled 8 now for the third time. Try again. 6.
alcohols.
Mm,
Ooh, how quaint.
They're simple people. Precious
Yeah.
metals, building materials, magical items, and alcohols.
Don't conflate them all, or you'll be knocked on your ass.
Precious metals, if you could, for a D8 for what they. Yes, they traded
8.
precious. 8. Cold iron.
Ooh,
Building materials, that would be a D8.
1.
Timber. So this helps a little bit.
it's an honest living.
Magical items, D8.
2.
Weapons, magical weapons. Okay. Do they have an alcohol? They do have an alcohol table.
Ooh,
Uh, so yeah, that's a D8.
It's gonna be like wine or
8.
something.
It's wine.
It is
No.
wine. Okay, interesting.
Oh, they're very high class.
You can have
Yes.
some pretty like bad wine. Like just
Yeah, we squished some grapes.
I wish
Imagine
I.
all their stuff is dyed purple as a byproduct of their wine.
Oh, okay.
Red grapes too.
Let's say what this like
That'd still be like darkish purple
stuff
though.
is dark purple, red from wine trade. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I want to know what they make. I want to know what kind of wine they make though.
Do
Yeah.
you think that you said three things, yeah?
They had 4.
Wine, four. They had four things.
Building
So one,
materials, precious metals, magical items, and alcohols, which was timber, cold iron, weapons, and wine.
I think. Would you think the Dragonborn would head up weapons
I mean,
or magical items? Because I
from
feel like magical items might be like a gnome's
from Wolf's
territory.
idea of there was potentially, since it's gnomes, halflings, and dragonborn, that it potentially was a garrison that was stationed here a long time ago that just kind of branched out, like a military family or various military families. I like the idea that there is in a sense, it's not a it's a small city, so it's not terribly large. But I like the idea that this is almost the equivalent of like a town that lives on a base, that kind of thing, where it's like
Yeah.
it lives close to a base or what there used to be like a fort that used to be nearby. And I like the idea that the gnomes and the halflings basically created things for the dragonborn to use in battle and stuff. And so that's just kind of naturally because cold iron, timber, and weapons. Like
Like
that's
bucklers, kind
yeah,
of.
Hmm.
that's like a lot of stuff that goes like all three of those go hand in hand for things that you would make. Weapons, magical items, cold iron, and timber. Like that just works. See, I feel like this would have been a town that was like had a fort nearby or something.
Also
Like
explain
it.
why a tavern would be pretty popular. Wine is a little different, but I suppose you can make it work. I suppose
I
building
wonder if they
materials,
have
they would
like.
need wood to make the barrels to age the wine.
No, that would work.
Mhm.
Fort.
And maybe this might be one of the more near like grassy areas for vineyards.
Yeah.
Because that would be
Be
a really nice spot for vineyards.
and also potentially long sight lines if there was a reason they were militarily stationed there.
Right. Right. Good. 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 Good.
It's all building up.
So Hafton, as we are trying to call it, it was the halflings, half elves, and humans. So their trades.
That is going to be a 3.
Ooh. Several tenuous and dangerous trade routes internationally and intracity trade at normal levels. So they actually have several trade routes that go outside of country y'all,
Can you
but
Coastal
they're
like
bad.
outside
dangerous.
of the continent or
Well, no, so
into?
it says internationally. So
Oh, got
they
it.
yeah, so they trade
Would they be like
internationally.
north?
Yeah, I would assume that
So
they'd
they'd
be
be like in
going
the
north.
You
northern
know,
part of the
there's
country.
so there's that little patch of the coast that's not touched by either the large country or the yeah, so I wonder if they're going through no man's land to get to the coast to smuggle it out through to the other country.
To which country? To this one?
So the one that's yeah, the other
Well,
continent.
oh, well, because this country is at war with this one up here that we're determining
Could
of
be
that continent. But as far as like,
could
yeah,
be
so it
dangerous.
tenuous and dangerous trade routes internationally.
Or I
Because
suppose
they
it
might
could
have,
just be on the edge of the no man's land because that would be pretty dangerous.
right.
It's an outlaw town.
Right. Curious what they're risking to die to trade for. So
It's D
All
is a
livestock.
D6?
D6 determine the amount of things that they trade in. Yes.
6.
Ho.
Dang, okay.
Okay,
They're hustling.
All
Captain.
right.
What do they trade in? D10s.
D10,
Yep.
1.
Livestock. Okay.
Yeah.
Dangerous light. 2.
Precious metals. We're getting
Okay.
these cows up here through hell or high water.
They're cockatrice
7.
cat.
Armaments,
5.
grains, and produce.
I need my
I need
kale.
By Kale.
How many more?
Well, that's four. You said six, right?
Yeah. 10.
Magical items,
9.
scrolls, and books. Oh, okay. So now we've got to figure out what they're willing to die for to be trading it with this stuff. So livestock, that's a D20. I really want it to be something really stupid like rabbits or something.
yeah.
Rabbits.
Or
People in
bees.
cotton scale, keeping people in cotton scale.
Bees.
14.
Shellfish.
Can we re-roll the shellfish?
Oh, wait. Flail snails.
Flail snails.
I mean,
Oh, interesting. Like just just
just like a whole herd of them just grazing.
do we want to stick with shellfish?
Uh, there's already shellfish happening,
Got so
but
many coastal cities.
Sure. Okay, then let's re-roll for the livestock.
okay.
Get something stupid, please.
12.
I mean, okay. Elephants.
Oh,
Right.
wow. Like war elephants, maybe, I guess.
El-
Elephants.
elephants.
Just
Little,
elephants. Oh.
Pre-
little,
Fresh.
little, little pygmy elephants.
Uh, well, pygmy elephants.
Little pygmy elephants.
All types of elephants. You want the small ones, you want the big ones.
You got the mean ones, the nice ones, the ones you can take home to the kids.
We got them all here.
Precious metals. That's a D8.
5.
5. That is platinum.
Ooh.
That's the danger. There we
That's
go.
say that's dangerous.
Because
Hey,
that's
that's the
the
Yeah.
tip top.
high end. Yeah, that's the high end for
Yeah.
Ooh.
armament. That's going to be D8.
Armaments. 4.
Bows and arrows. Okay. Grains and produce. That's a D20.
Give me my kale. 6.
Grapes.
Oh, maybe they can get them to the winery.
That's what they feed the elephants.
10.
That's what it's give them all grapes.
Is that a D10, D8?
Oh no, D8 for magical items.
Magical items. That's going to be a 6.
Rods.
Hmm.
Scrolls and books. That's a D12.
3.
Alchemical knowledge.
Mm.
Again with the knowledge theme. Well, not again, but interesting. Knowledge is power.
Platinum and the elephant kind of makes me think that they never forget. Like they're always just gonna.
I would say so. The dangerous trade route of platinum makes sense. I think there needs to be at least one Morana here out of this whole list that should be an additional dangerous trade route item. Out of these things, what do you guys think would be something that would be a dangerous trade route item? Because do we want them so that this would be, let's see, where was this again? This is Halfton. So there's not really a direct location of where it could be in this area. So do you want them trading with internationally dangerous? Like where would they be trading dangerously?
Like where on the map?
Well, yeah, well, because I'm starting to think like because it says several tenuous and dangerous trade routes internationally, intercity trade at normal. Excuse me, normal.
That little crook in between when you go up to like the northwest in between the isolationist and the lower bottom, that little crook
This one.
where kind of both of them are close, kind of going through that river straight in between that little elbow seems like it might be a dangerous route because we're intersecting with both countries as well as that might possibly be an entry area for the neighboring continent. And I wish I could ping that area, but it's like where you see your mouse right there,
Yeah.
because I feel like that could be a nice entry point because it's not those waters might be kind of easy to kind of slip between the two pairs of eyes into the no man's land not owned by anybody. So that might be a
What items should be because we've got platinum as a dangerous trade route item. I mean, grapes can be dangerous to trade in.
I wonder if the knowledge one might be because if it's alchemical knowledge could be used in a way that might help someone create weapons that might be tough to deal with and on terms of both physical and magical fronts. Make it like a make like a chemical that burns as well as, the scroll so magically.
So given that we know that the isolationists are seeking to, if I remember correctly down here, they want to control all trade and wealth with an over reliance on science and invention. Do we want to think that potentially that would be the dangerous thing, the alchemical knowledge to the isolationist?
I mean, they want to control and knowledge and invention is their thing. So trying to keep knowledge from the isolationists and they crave to know and control, that might be that's probably part of the danger.
It could be one of the groups that developed or knows the secrets behind the medicines that are needed to counteract blue vein,
Oh yeah,
which would
okay.
be dangerous information for them to have.
Blue vein.
You think they'd
Develop.
want to try to restrict that info
I
or
think
at least control it?
I think they would want to control it. It makes sense to me if, as far as like, it sounds as though like many isolationist countries, you want to, you basically, if they want to control all trade, but also they want to be the predominant power in the sense of like staying away from people. I think they just want these. They're not at war. They want these other countries to fail at some point, but they want to have the knowledge for because they this blue vein thing that's a thing that's in the world. So they want that knowledge. They need that knowledge for when eventually this all in their minds, I think, fails, right? So they're probably trying to find ways of developing how blue vein interacts with their own technology or their own use of magic or or science rather, because that they have a reliance on it of science and invention. Yes, no, maybe.
Makes sense,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're both making affirmative gestures, but
Yeah,
not
sorry,
saying the
yeah.
word.
We're gesturing and
As
nodding. We need to
Yes, as
speak.
as you do in a podcast, that's great
Yes.
great audio. Yeah, just
Listen, this is the first time for some of us. We're getting there.
All right, so then for this large city, Tri-Town, we have determined, with these ancestries with a moat filled with giant eels. Ancestries human, gnome, tiefling, and half-elf. So let's see how they're doing in trade. How are they doing?
Ooh,
Trade health, which is 2, which is several established and protected trade routes with neighboring cities and nations. Okay.
hmm,
You want some meals?
they trade in 5 things.
Oh, goody. The trade
Mhm.
routes. So let's have trade routes.
These 5 are D8s, I believe.
So you roll d6 for 5, so that's d8. Excuse me, d10. D10 for
Settle down, dice. All right, first one is 5.
5, grains and produce.
Next one is 9.
Scrolls and books. I'm liking that we're getting a lot of scrolls and books for the knowledge based of this
The
world
knowledge
anyway.
people. Yep. 1. That's it.
Livestock. I love getting livestock because I want to know
I
what.
want something. 1. Or sorry, 0. 10. Can't word. 10.
They don't trade in anything.
Final answer.
Magical items. Okay. I almost want, if we ever do get a double of livestock, just to keep it, just to see like
I, do,
they trade
I
in.
got a double 10, but
No, it's
okay.
cool. Okay, so then that's grains and produce. We'll just go down the line here. So what do they trade in grains and produce? That's going to be a D20.
17.
Just vegetables. That's all it is, just vegetables. A good Brussels sprout. A
Mm,
nice cabbage.
I was just thinking asparagus.
That's all they traded. Is asparagus. That's it. Just just
Perfect.
Solid Tri-Town. Asparagus.
Asparagus.
Scrolls and books, D12.
10.
Good lord, Triton. Spell scrolls up to 4th level.
Oh, it makes sense actually
Something
with
in the
this
Neils.
because it's the. Oh no, never mind. I thought it was elves were here.
Half elves
Hmm.
and tieflings. Livestock, that's a D20. Let's come on, bees.
We 1.
Cattle.
Dang it.
Uh,
Had enough of this
There's
stupid
some there's
cows.
some there's some fun ones on here.
I bet. Wish we saw some.
No, I kind of like keeping it a surprise for the time being.
Sounds good.
Uh, magical items. That's a D8.
5.
Rings.
ooh, the rings
Rings.
of power.
Ring.
One to
One of
find
them
them and one
deceived,
to kind them.
for another ring is made.
Did you say one to kind them?
I don't know what the phrase is, so I just don't.
One to no, no, no. Can you please repeat for me what you think the whole you don't have to mute yourself. I'm gonna sound like really terrible. You should all know that they are laughing hysterically. So, Colin, please, can you repeat for me what you think
I
the
said one to find them and one to kind them. I don't know what.
no, what's the full I wanna know the full please tell me.
One that
Christina,
finds them and one who's trying them. I don't.
one that's trying them. Just
I
give me a
don't
little
know.
lore, folks.
I don't know what the
Perfect.
phrase is.
Perfect.
No, I think that's better. I think Tolkien should take notes from you, man.
Mr. Frodo, are you trying the ring?
Sure.
I'm trying, Mr. Frodo. Trying them all on, Mr. Frodo. Well then. So we've got next up the village of Crisscross with the sentient oozes. I'm very curious to see what their trade is like. So
Mhm.
trade relations. What are the trade relations with Crisscross? Who is up for that one?
Two.
Two. I think it's the same one as several established and protected routes, protected cities and towns.
Them
Okay, so
losers know what they're doing.
Two. D6.
and two. All right, so what are they trading?
D10s.
Yes, indeed.
9.
Scrolls and books
Oh, very knowledgeable. 8.
and building materials. They just trade parts themselves for like mortar or whatever. Just these oozes. Building materials. That's gonna be a where is the table for that? D8.
5.
Limestone. And scrolls and books. That's gonna be a D12.
4.
Biology and botany.
Hmm.
Huh.
That actually makes a lot of sense because limestone is sedimentary where you find a lot of fossils of fish and other things. So that would make sense. Sorry.
Oh. Don't apologize. I was about to just ask, like, limestone. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's used for in building. So,
Oh,
well,
there's a lot of it in Minnesota actually. It's
oh,
so it's lithified sediment. See, a lot of this is gone because I used to know a lot about it, but um Essentially, you find a lot of different aquatic fossils in limestone because that used to be oceanic floor.
Okay.
So,
D- What's it used for in particular then? Does anyone know? Like for building?
um, yes, there are a lot of buildings in my college that were made with it because there's specific limestone to Minnesota, actually.
Oh,
Um,
Road construction, floor paving. It's extremely durable.
yeah.
Stone cladding on walls, retaining walls.
oh, I almost wondered that actually would be kind of cool if so. The shape of the village is a cross. The like crossroads, basically, like if they've paved the roads into the town, the like all
Oh
roads
yeah.
come to us basically because we pave the road.
Limestone is exceptionally weather resistant, and while it does naturally corrode over time, the corrosion is superficial and won't impact the structural integrity of the structure. It's a great conductor of heat, a natural way to keep your home cool.
This podcast brought to you by the Natural Limestone Association. All right, well, good to know for that one then. Next up then is the hamlet of Ovaltown. Ancestry is elves, tieflings, and gnomes. Trade relations, how we looking?
3.
Okay, I think I'll glance at this one. Yep, several tenuous and dangerous trade routes internationally, intercity trade at normal levels. So I can copy that back down. It's gonna be down there. So what do they or how much do they trade in?
5.
My God,
Oh,
it's
good
just got
lord.
seriously. I don't know because that was the last one too. The last town that
Is
was
this a
here.
hamlet?
This is a hamlet. What the heck is the hamlet trading in?
I don't know if I got a duplicate.
That's so dangerous.
Oh, this is what
There
the
is.
elves, tieflings, yeah, this is
So
interesting.
4,
Okay, 4 minerals and ores,
Oh,
10,
magical items. Okay,
okay.
3,
gems,
Oh
5.
boy.
and 5 grains and produce
Is there one more?
Yep. 8.
and building materials.
Okay, this is like a mining town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna note that here. Mining town. Okay,
Too bad
I
so
this
like how
wasn't
the
this.
elves are involved in the mining town. Not a, nary a dwarf to be seen.
I know tieflings and gnomes and elves. Feels like the elves would be administrative.
Oh yeah, yeah.
in this
Make the
ham.
devils dig. We don't want to dirty our hands.
Call me a devil again.
Devil, bring me
uh,
coffee.
gems. That's a D100.
Oh, let's get something spicy.
Oh shit. 62.
62 jet.
Ooh. That. Oh wait,
Context,
no.
please. No, no,
Nope.
please. Jet.
Oh no. So I was trying to think. So jet is, if I'm remembering this correctly, it's a.
A
See,
mineral?
now I have to double check before I say words, because but it's a part of the quartz family, if I remember correctly. It's the same place you get agates and other things. No, not the plains. Google.
Plains Google.
Okay.
Is this a part of mineral and gemstones?
Gems, just gems. I just picked gems.
The lowest rank of coal.
Yes. So that would make sense for a mining town to find this stuff. But basically, what was it used for?
Lowest rank of
'Cause it's got,
coal?
yeah, jet may induce an electric charge.
Electric,
Um, kind of
The
cool.
color
Yeah.
is black.
right?
Yeah.
It is derived from wood that is changed under extreme pressure.
So this would be deep underground then.
It's used. It was used primarily for jewelry, a lot for religious symbols. Became fashionable during the reign of Queen Victoria. Yeah, it looks to be primarily jewelry.
So interesting. I like the idea though of this. It's a hamlet, but it's just like a deep, deep mine. Okay, so then
Are gnomes or which one of of them, or I guess all three, I guess, because very interesting is that it's very easily cut, but small pieces tend to break off, making it difficult to create fine details. Therefore, it takes an experienced lapidarist to execute more elaborate carvings. Just imagining like gnomes with their small hands able to kind
Mm,
of
little hands.
get in and make these really intricate carvings from jet, turning it from just a lump of coal into something beautiful.
Yeah. So let's see what else we get here for minerals and ores, though. I'm curious, and like,
Mm,
I am very curious. Like this town, strenuous or tenuous, dangerous trade routes. That's a D10 for minerals and ores.
5.
Sodium. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And
Hold up.
sorry for education, but is this the sodium that would be used for like is this chemical sodium or
It just explicitly states on here just sodium. I'm leaving that to our resident geologist here, essentially.
Oh,
right, right, absolutely.
don't call me that. I was going to
Your
be okay.
Rock mage.
Cool. Actually, that would be actually an awesome band name. Uh, yeah, it's used a lot in building materials.
We still have to do that one too.
It is used to produce
interesting.
gasoline, additives, polymers, synthetic rubber. So a lot of buildy stuff. Used as a heat exchanger in sodium vapor lamps. Okay.
I could definitely see that being
Lots
dangerous
of high
as
level stuff.
the isolationist community might not have access to minerals like that, so they might want to take it for themselves because it might be rare if they want to make some sort of synthetic material to help their inventions.
Country Y'all is got a couple of towns that are just dangerously trading with the isolationists. Like just
Yeah.
I mean, they're the goody country. They've got it all, so they want to make sure that they bring forward country all.
yeah. Bring forward Country Y'all. Magic items. That's a D8.
That is a 3.
Armor.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Boy, that'd
Jet
be some
black
blinged out
armor.
armor. Yeah. I mean, jet armor wouldn't be very strong, but if it's
No,
blitzed and glammed,
Okay. Grains and produce. That's going to be D20.
kale.
Just dedicated to have that kale, huh?
4, 4,
Corn.
4.
It's corn, like popcorn. You know.
Yeah, like popcorn. Did you want to elaborate on that a bit more, or just
No, no.
okay?
They're all just sitting around eating popcorn.
Next up then is building materials. That's going to be a D8.
D8. That's a 1.
Timber. I am curious exactly. Mining town for the most part. Timber. Where they're getting any of
Yeah.
that? Do we want
It
to
doesn't really
re-roll
make a
that?
it doesn't really make a lot
Yeah,
of
let's do
sense.
it.
Re-roll that then. Okay, so go ahead and re-roll.
8.
Uh, glass.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. You know what? That would make a lot of sense. So, with there could be volcanic glass, which is usually when lava hits water. And if it's of the right silicon mix, it can turn into volcanic glass, which would also mean in volcanic regions you would find a lot of minerals and other things. So, if there was previous volcanic activity, I need to stop going into geology with this.
You're fine. You are totally
I mean,
fine.
they're digging pretty deep, so they might have access to
We need banter and conversationalist at times because otherwise it's just us rolling tables for 3 hours if it hasn't been condensed. So
I mean, if they're digging, they might have access to, they have glass blowers, they have miners, they have people refining the jet. This is a very adept town that is
How
they're
big is
all
this one again?
it's a
like
hamlet, so it's not
Ah,
terribly large. It's almost like a specialized, I feel like, place. Like it feels like this would be a place.
artisans.
Yeah, this is a town of artisans or how big is a hamlet? I think it was like a
in that case, I think they would all work together really. I think they you have elves who are I feel like they would be working with the glass. You have the gnomes working with the
yeah.
jet and refining it. They're making armor. It's a town full of artisans who are all in love with their craft, and so being
Yeah.
petty to each other is probably not even on their minds because they're all working with their hands and enjoying what they do.
Wonder if due to the size of the people living there, if they end up contracting workers from outside to work the mines and other things so the artisans can do what they do best, which is why the elves are basically overseeing
That
operations and whatnot.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that because of the size of the town and the amount of people here, that are artisans or are respected with their crafts. That yeah, contract work for because it's elves, tieflings, and gnomes. That's not to say that there can't be strong gnomes, tieflings, or elves, but I imagine that they do outsource a lot of their work to go deep into the mines, um, or even just kind of like to lug a lot of this extra stuff. Yeah, yeah, town of artisans. What the heff? So
Artist
I
Alley.
guess what's that? Artist
Artist a
Artist Alley.
Artist Abbey. That's the name of the hamlet.
Artist Abbey. Oh,
Yep.
I'll put it on there. Artist Abbey. Cotton Scale, as I think we've kind of solidified that as the name. I think that's actually just a good name to have for Cotton Scale. So, trade routes and trade relations for that of Cotton Scale for these rabbit and lizard folk. How good is trade?
2.
I think I remember that being actually okay. Yep, several established and protected trade routes. Okay, their country y'all is doing good.
But not too good.
Not too good. You know, they're doing
Just
all
good
right.
enough.
Getting by.
So what? How much do they trade in?
5.
Dang.
All right,
All
cotton
right.
scale, get it going.
Man. Okay, D10.
D10,
9.
scrolls and books,
Yeah. 10.
uh, magical items,
6.
alcohol,
Uh, I just rolled 9. 1.
livestock. Come on, bees,
2.
and precious metals. Yeah, I'm gonna save livestock for last. I want to be either surprised or disappointed last. Scrolls and books.
12.
Oh my giddy aunt. Spell scrolls up to 6th level.
Man, they are getting to
Dang,
work.
okay.
Okay, magical items. That's gonna be a D8.
5.
Rings. Okay, let's get something good for the alcohols here. I'm very curious what rabbits and lizards are brewing. D8.
1.
Whiskey.
Perfect.
That's why they're
Perfect.
all so
Hurry
many
up,
of them.
put a bounce in your step, some whiskey.
Yes. I don't know what
Some
lizard
shine
folks
on
Yeah.
your
sound like.
scales and some fluff in
Yes,
your
I'll take a
bun.
sip of that.
Tip.
I don't think that's what lizard folks sound like. I should never have done
Don't pretend to know how they talk. Okay. Like don't precious metals. That's gonna be sorry. That's D8.
that. All right. 7.
Wow. Mithril.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
I all right.
What?
Now give me bees. Give me the bees. Livestock D20.
Nat 20.
No.
What is
Is
that?
it rabbits?
It's not bees, it's rabbits.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That no. That's
So good.
Oh
that's
So
no!
what?
Are you kidding me?
Cotton
This
scale.
we're gonna have to wait a second.
We're keeping it. We're
Are
keeping
there
it.
feral rabbits?
I don't know how to explain this, but how what are they?
Wait a second.
Okay,
This
I've
is
got it.
kind of oh my okay, go.
So the lizard folk were tending rabbits. They were keeping them, selling them, breeding them. They the rabbit people came to the area like, man, these guys grow really good carrots, and they just kind of stuck around because they already had a lot of the things there.
But I I mean, I guess it's the equivalent of like if I mean
They were sort of
Are there
I don't
actual feral rabbits and then rabbit folk, the heron guns?
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, just,
yeah.
yeah. But it's
So
just
then
that's odd though. That's like
That's like a recipe for disaster.
something about that just seems very
something's
off.
something's
Yeah,
really oh, this is I don't like this town because
I'm trying to figure out. I am legitimately
don't think too
distressed
hard. It's
about like this dystopian town of where they're just trading rabbits, and just something about that just strikes me wrong. But I love
you
it.
know, th
hey, welcome to the
they didn't
shop.
start off as rabbit folk.
He just
They started
cleaves
off
a
as
rabbit.
regular rabbits, and something happened.
I don't no,
No,
no, that
no,
no.
No?
oh
Okay,
no.
got it.
Uh,
Ugh.
I don't think that somebody went and got a feral rabbit and made a rabbit person.
The the
But
the
listen,
equivalency
watch your phrasing there. What was a magical accident, not, you know.
Yeah.
the equivalency I'm getting here is I can't there isn't even an equivalency. I can't it's just it seems wrong and weird, and I am legitimately trying to figure out how the hell this works. And it's I don't know. We
It's
may
not
have to
good
come
any way
back
you
to
slice
this.
it.
There is no good situation in this.
Oh,
This is
Oh
this
man, it's called cotton scale too. Oh man.
oh,
And oh, that one's just that's really hard to swallow. Um
do we okay. I part of me
I
wants to keep it.
I'm super like happy with this really weird aspect of this town, but the fact that
imagine
the
a group of
Herringon
players.
What?
Imagine a
imagine a
group of
group of
players
Oh, I
coming
know.
to this town, and they're like, "Oh, so what are you guys, are you here for the rabbit festival?" "The
they're like,
what?"
"The
"The
what?
rabbit festival, where we
You
get to show
know?
off all the bunnies we bred for the year."
You want some
What?
rabbit stew?" We
Uh,
The inn run by a rabbit.
I just I
that one's
Oh. Oh,
really
so they come
hard
they
to
come to
explain. That
no,
one's
so
tough. Go
they
ahead.
please.
come to, like, the market, they don't know about that part right away, that there's rabbits domestically, so they just come to this bazaar, and there's, like, lucky rabbit's feet and rabbit skins, and I
I
don't know why.
this cotton
The
scale
hell's wrong with you?
is turned into a Black Mirror situation, it
I
feels like.
don't like it.
I I we have to keep it. We have to
You
keep it.
have
Oh,
to, you
man.
have to.
Mostly just
You're
because
trying
at this point, depending on whenever we ever go into this world and we're playing, I want to I want to either roll the dice to see and figure out what is gonna be the situation that involves from this. Like what? Because I almost don't want to answer it right now of why they trade in rabbits.
right,
It's just
exactly.
I was not expecting to be met with such atrocities this evening of that.
Holy cow. That's a
Anyway, moving on to four posts.
you weren't disappointed.
No, I
No,
was not. I
no.
mean, I was expecting bees, but I got some sort of horror story from Stephen King, or something that just does not okay. Like, uh, four posts. Human ancestry town. How's the trade in four posts?
Got it too.
My God, trade is just booming for every single one of these.
It's gonna be extra booming there, Tim, because that's a 6.
My God,
Oh god.
and they trade in human livestock. I don't.
That's what happens when you don't make the right amount of food at Thanksgiving, Grandma. Okay, let's see.
Grandma ends
We're
up on
got 3 tens. Go away. Right.
Oh
Uh,
man.
8,
Building materials,
6,
alcohols,
10.
magical items,
I have to re-roll these other ones because I got 10s for the rest. 1,
livestock,
Mm,
9,
scrolls and books,
good.
right, and 4.
minerals and ores. Okay, so let's go down the line here. I again saving livestock, best for last. I
Of
just feel like
course,
anytime you get to livestock, it's just a
shit
fun
goes
hotel
sideways.
time. Building materials. Watch like one of these things is like flesh or something on a building materials.
Oh, God.
D8, please.
The gingerbread man screams. Is he made of house or is the house made of him? He does not know. 2.
Two. That's steel.
Okay.
Alcohol. D8.
That'd be an 8. Why?
Wine.
Mm,
More wine.
I
Or
want
wine.
mead. Give me
Uh,
mead.
magical items. That's a D8.
8 again.
8. That's
Mhm.
stabs.
Ooh,
Different
okay.
than rods. Hmm.
The
Nope.
length.
Livestock is last. Scrolls and books.
Ooh,
2.
mhm.
History books.
Ooh, okay.
And then minerals and ores.
5.
Sodium.
Okay.
More sodium.
Okay. And now livestock. D20, please.
Hmm. Do we get when we roll the D? Nat 20.
More rabbits.
I don't want to do rabbits again. I don't want to
Yeah,
reroll
let's
No.
not.
4.
Let's
Reroll.
not. 11.
Uh, wha we where
Mm?
okay, well, this might determine a little bit of the positioning of the town. Um,
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
uh, camels.
Are they upper north of this near the desert?
Well, looking at well, y'all is down here, so where's camel? Where are they getting
I
camel?
would say on the northernmost tip. Yeah, like right
Northern
there.
camels. Okay,
Maybe there's an
camels.
arid part of the camels.
Alright.
Yeah,
What was
we're getting pretty close to the desert, I guess. So
yeah,
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead
maybe
and
that's
say
they trade with the desert country, and they're very
northernmost
close.
part border.
I
Ugh.
mean, and there are mountainous camels, like they're big and foofy. So it could be one of those, I guess.
Oh, well, wait, what are those? Is that are those the? Why I always forget the terminology? It's dromedary is one, or is that
I think the one that I'm thinking of is Bacterian camel. Is that what they're called? Watch,
Bactrian.
it's not even.
is it just that's what they're called, or is that the terminology for one or two humps?
The
I
Bactrian
don't know.
camels gather around mountain areas where snow and springs.
Those are the two-humped.
Okay.
I don't.
Do we want to define what these are then? Do we want them to be two humped or one humped? Like one for the desert? Like either we want them to be desert camels or do we want them to be Bactrian camels?
Oh. Uh,
Um,
I suppose if it's the desert, maybe the single humped camel would be sufficient, I guess.
Okay.
Because there's not really a mountainous region anywhere on this
No,
continent.
it's predominantly grasslands and hills. I'm assuming that there would be obviously at some point we might just go into the world and just give like a little jut of a mountain range or something depending on how we're feeling. But
To be exciting.
yeah, just as a treat for us. Here's a mountain range, just as a
Mm,
treat.
it's a happy little
Okay,
mountain.
history books though, like so steel, wine, staves, history books, and sodium. History books does make sense a little bit if they're on the northern part of the border of because it kind of correlates, I suppose, to like
Oh
expeditions
yeah.
that went into the desert region to look at the giant corpse and other things. Like that seems appropriate.
Mhm.
Interesting that this is the all human town.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
You know,
dig
I
it.
wonder if I wonder I wonder if speaking of dig, I wonder if they're kind of archaeologists, like arcane archaeologists in a way.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
They lead expeditions into the sands trying to understand, but not get too close.
That makes actually, yeah, I kind of like that. Arcane archaeologists living in this town. Um, put that as like as a note. Arcane archaeologists, because yeah, they'd breed the camels to go into further ventures into the desert and stuff.
Mm.
And now we've got finally the Hamlet of Ham, because it's a spiral shape,
Spiral.
vertical, going up or down. We don't know just yet. It's got their defense are constructed spheres that coat areas in darkness when thrown, and it is all humans. Okay, so how are trade relations in the Hamlet of Ham?
Fantastic.
One.
One. Oh, I think
Oh, that's
I.
good, I
Oh
thought.
There no.
no, yep, excellent intra-city
Oh,
trade,
excellent.
but
Okay.
non-existent international. So excellent
That
intra-city,
quirky local trade.
non-international. But they trade in
War.
four. How is it that all the small freaking towns get so many resources?
And the big, I'm still like big metropolis is just like squirrels.
Yeah, what is it?
But
What is it again that they only had one, right?
yep, only the one that they don't really do. lots of trading because they're not really a trading town, but they
No.
have scales in abundance. We're doing D10s of what they trade in.
D10. Yes, that is correct.
I feel like I've said that every time. I'm so
It,
sorry.
hey,
Right.
I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see the clock. I'm just like, ah,
7,
7. That is armaments. As the night goes on, my
3,
age. Oop, armaments.
nope,
3 gems,
4,
minerals, and ores.
makes sense. And one more, 8,
Building materials. Okay, so for armaments, that is going to be a D8.
1.
1. That is swords and knives.
Ooh.
Weapons tone.
Mhm.
Gems is going to be a D100.
29.
29. Carnelian. I do not recall. It's like an orangish kind of gem, isn't it?
Think
Brownish red
so.
mineral used as a semi-precious stone.
Just as
Kind
semi
of
precious.
brownish. Kind of looks like grapes a little bit. What was the next one?
Minerals and ores. That's going to be, excuse me, D10.
9.
Nickel. Oh, nickel's used for.
Oh, armor plating. Mm.
Oh,
Which could make sense if they're making jewelry with the cornelian and to make pretty blades.
right. Okay. A specialty kind of almost ornamentation weaponry and stuff.
I almost wonder if it like could be recognizable outside and you're like, oh, you got a Hamian blade?
You got a hammy? you got you got a hammy blade?
Not one of them ham hocks, dude.
One of them ham hocks. Building materials, D8.
There's going to be a 5.
Limestone.
Interesting.
Now there is an additional section here that we have. How are people feeling at this moment? Good,
Good. Feeling
good.
well. Sorry.
Uh,
I'm feeling good. I gave a thumbs up.
Thank you for stating as such upon a
Sorry.
podcast.
Thank you.